Coming up on This Week Next Week, Chris Waller joins us to relive Jolly Star's dash in the shorts and Fangirl's 7 Stakes heroics before we switch gears to his Rosehill contenders this Saturday.
Hello, I'm Ray Thomas and welcome to the return of This Week Next Week, just in time for Group 1 racing to be back in Sydney at Rosehill on the weekend with the Golden Rose. But we had a terrific race day at Randwick last Saturday. Corey Brown, as always, joins me for another season of This Week Next Week. And Corey, this spring is hotting up, isn't it?
There on Saturday, Ray, was great. Great racing, weather was terrific, track was great, and to hear the crowd roar after about race 2 or 3, you just knew that the big races are back. It was terrific.
The roar for Fangirl and that epic contest, we'll look a little bit later. As we go to air tonight, Corey, of course, Ka Ying Rising, the Hong Kong superstar, has landed in Sydney ahead of the Everest. Tomorrow, last year's Golden Eagle winner, Lake Forest from England, arrives, and these internationals just add that extra dimension to what's going to be a fantastic spring carnival.
It's going to be very exciting, Ray, and I'm really looking forward to this barrier trial with Ka Ying Rising. It's going to be like a proper race day for one barrier trial. They're
going to use it as a dress rehearsal, I think, on October 7. We might see a number of Group 1 horses go up against him, and that'll be fantastic. But we'll look back to last Saturday at Royal Randwick because there were so many highlights. We'll go straight to the Kingston Town Stakes, a vital lead up to the Metropolitan. Birdman's been thereabouts a number of times in Australia, finally breaks through. He might go right on with it from here, Corey.
I reckon he will, Ray. I reckon that there on the weekend is a good confidence building for him because look, it was a narrow margin. I'm not saying he knows whether he's won or lost, but just the way that he done it, the way that he skipped through, he had a great turn of foot over that distance. Hopefully he can hold that once he gets up over further. But on the day, I thought that he was actually lying down. His run had come to a bit of an end, but I honestly think that the other horse got a second wind and was coming back at him. So I think they're both in for a good preparation. But yeah, it was just wasn't a big win, but it was a nice win there on the weekend.
Yeah, that was Adelaide River you're talking about. River. I thought he was really good. He's got some outstanding overseas form, so if he's anywhere near right, he'll be hard to beat in the Metropolitan as well. The 3-year-old fillies clashed in the T-Row Stakes. Apocalyptic won the Furious first up, and she proved, Corey, it was no fluke with another outstanding win in the T-Rows.
Yeah, as I was saying, even to Tommy on the day before she won, the barrier draw, they were a little bit disappointed, but I said you'd prefer to draw out there because she's such a big filly. She needs room. I'm not saying 3 deep, but she just needs that bit of room where she can stay balanced and comfortable. She was 3 deep. She got a little bit of cover coming to about the 600 metre mark for about a furlong, but she's super impressive. To have done what she's done, a third start in a race there on the weekend against those horses, look, I think they're cooking with gas here. I think she's a very, very smart horse.
Yeah. What about going to the Flight Stakes over the 1600, Corey? She's been so good. I thought the run of Queen of Clubs was excellent. Artistic Venture ran second, was good. Tupacaro is thereabouts again. Can any of those fillies beat her in the flight?
It'll be very hard. Luck in running is going to play a big part, like all races. But if she gets the luck like she, she's going to be very, very hard to beat. Put it that way. She's deserved favourite.
Yeah. And Corey, let's go to the Bill Ritchie handicap next. And with your blessing, John Thompson's done a great job with this horse. He's in career best form. Look, he won't go to the Epsom. 1600 metres is a touch beyond him, but John's already thinking ahead in a race like the Hunter in November.
He's a nice horse, Ray, and not only with your blessing, his whole stable's on fire at the moment, John Thompson. He's only got a small sort of team, but he's having a lot of luck. If he's not winning, he's thereabouts. But that ride there on the weekend by Alicia Collett was terrific. She knows the horse inside out. He's very, very consistent, but I was rapt to see him win the way that he did there on the weekend because it was deserved of not only the horse but the stable as well as the jockey.
Yeah, exactly. Bazasto was very good, finishing second. Royal Patronage had a bit of a blow afterwards, Corey. I know you thought he was above himself. He'll improve off that.
For sure.
Yep. Well, here it is, the 7 Stakes. What an epic this was. Lindemann under Nashra Willer nearly pinched it, but that little mare Fangirl, she's got the heart as big as herself, Corey.
And, to think, Ray, I mentioned on the Sunday show, she run into some really, really good horses. Animo, she's, the bridesmaid to Animo a lot. And it can generally break horses' hearts when they're running second or, place into really, really good horses. But she's come out and she's held the flag high. That win there on the weekend was terrific. She got back. Nash controlled the race like you wouldn't believe on Lindemann, and he's in terrific form. But to stick her head out right at the last second, to win is a very brave effort.
How about the roar from the crowd when she
it's
got
great.
that
That's what I said. You could just feel it springs here. It's great.
It's fantastic. We'll talk to Chris Waller shortly about his plans for those two, Fangirl and Lindemann. Corey, just quickly, Chaya Wolf and Private Eye, they were gallant. Chaya Wolf, maybe go to the Epsom now?
Oh, look, I know he's one of those horses. He loves a fast run, maybe a big field, fast run race, but I wasn't disappointed with him on the weekend.
He held his ground,
His first up run was terrific, obviously a gut buster. Second up, he was flat. Total forgive for me, second up. There on the weekend, I think he's looking for further. I'd love to see him up over, a mile and a quarter, even a mile and a half.
Yeah.
But maybe later they'll find a race for him. But I just think with that really tough first up run, I think it just took a bit of wind out of his sails.
Fair enough. I think the form will stand up from the 7 stakes, and it will certainly stand up from the shorts. Jolie Star, she was wide, she was too good. Briasa was excellent running second. Marzu was the first surprise of the race, going out as hard as he did, but the runs of Briasa and particularly the winner Jolie Star heading towards the Everest, outstanding. Corey.
Outstanding. To go against the pattern on the day, Ray, I'm not saying you had to be up front on fence, but most of the runners before race 6 were up front near the fence at some stage, but she got back. She was 4 wide. She never got any cover whatsoever. But the way she picked them up was
outstanding.
It was outstanding.
Yeah.
She went against the pattern and she picked them up as easily as what she did. This Everest is shaping up to be some race. We thought it was a one-horse race here 3 or 4 months ago with Kaying Rising, but mate, it's going to be some race.
Briasa's effort?
Terrific. He looked big. He's got lots of improvement in him, so he'll really come on from that run on the weekend. I thought he was brave.
Yeah. Private Harry?
I'm not going to say...
Didn't go right at the start for him.
He wasn't standing right. He was a bit fractious in the barriers. He was leaning to one side, you notice, on the steward's footage. And when he stepped slow, Briasa come out and give him a nudge as well, so probably forced him back. Spent a slight bit of petrol getting to where he was only going to end up. But still, I would have liked to have seen him do a bit more. I'm not going to say the jury's out, but I definitely would have loved to have seen him do a bit more.
I think we've seen it enough over the years, Corey. You've got to give a good horse one more chance, haven't you? Yeah,
for sure.
So he'll go to the Premier Stakes. Group 1 racing at Caulfield on Saturday, and Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott celebrated with Sedelius, who climbed off the canvas when Buckaroo went straight past him. But Sedelius had plenty more to say and got the job done in the Underwood Stakes.
Buckaroo had him on the canvas. Honestly, I thought Buckaroo was going to win. Like Birdman, I thought, same sort of thing, but he obviously got beaten here, Buckaroo. But, gee, I'd like to be riding the winner going forward. I think Cox Plate and then into the Cup. One horse, I just think he's a bulldog. He just pins the ears back. You see him there. His will to win is terrific. Horses generally, when they get headed as easily as what he did there on the weekend by Buckaroo, they generally sort of put the white flag up and don't go on with it, but he dug deep and really ripped to the line well. Yeah,
of course, Craig Williams rode Sedelius, and he backed up in the Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes with a terrific ride on Sea Pals went to collect the Group 1 double at Caulfield, but I think everyone was watching Angel Capital out the back in the Yulong colours. White cap Damien Lane, nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go. Should have won easy, but taking nothing away from the winner. Great ride there by Craig Williams. He's riding in terrific form. He controlled that race. He put enough pressure coming into the straight to sort of just hold him at bay, and then it was a nice win. It wasn't a big flashy win, but onwards and upwards.
I know you had a lot to do with Cliff Brown in Singapore. Great trainer. Great to see him back with a Group 1 horse.
Yeah, wrapped. And I was only texting him yesterday afternoon actually about it. So great to see him back in the Group 1 winning circle.
Well, certainly great racing on the weekend, Corey. And our next guest had a terrific day at Royal Randwick. Chris Waller, the champion trainer, joins us on this week, next week. Chris, thanks for your time and congratulations on a terrific day on Saturday. Let's go straight to the shorts. And Jolie Star was so good. We're expecting her to race so well first up from a spell.
I was hoping, Ray and Corey, hi. First up, we could see it was a high-pressure race, so we didn't want to get caught up in that early speed battle. We thought we'd just come back quietly and get some cover. Cover didn't eventuate, but James was adamant she was just very comfortable in that 4-wide line, and he said, I'm not going to drag you back, I'm not going to push you forward, I'm just going to keep you happy. And I thought she'd be vulnerable late under those circumstances, but gee, she was very impressive to my eye.
Obviously she's loaded with ability, Chris, and like you said, you hope that she come back well. But after watching the win several times, I bet, were you more impressed with her because of the pattern of the day. It was generally up on speed, or you had to be near the fence. I know sort of Fangirl and stuff, they come down the middle of the track, but she's a superstar. But were you more impressed after watching the win with everything that was going on, the way the track was racing on the day?
Yeah, super impressed, Corey, and just good to see her have that speed. Like, she was just totally in her comfort zone, and she turned the corner with some, like, looked like she had some confidence, dominance, and power there. And yeah, she let down in the straight and came away with a pretty good win.
Yeah, she was so impressive, Chris. 1 minute 2.13 seconds for the 1100 metres. She made a statement on her return. We know how good she is fresh, Chris, and we know she loves that Randwick course, particularly when it's firm. What are your plans now with the mare Jolie Star between now and the Everest?
Ray, she just seems to run so well fresh, so that was part of the reason running here. Go 4 weeks into the Everest rather than running last week, and it would have been 5 weeks into the Everest. It would have tempted us into running again. So she's dominant, fresh, and yeah, we'll give her a barrier trial between now and Everest Day, and make sure she's ticking over and ready to run well and fresh.
Okay, you mentioned trial. There's a big trial hyping up. It's really getting a roll along. Will you be avoiding the trial, or will you be throwing something in against K-Ing Rising? Yeah, will you be trialling against him?
We might bring Nature's Trip back, Corey. Are you free?
I'd sit on him, don't worry. I reckon he'd hold me for a half a mile, don't worry.
I would say we'll be trialling, and but we won't be worrying too much about times and things like that. Be interesting trial, won't it? So yeah, we'll just let her go through her paces wherever she trials, and she can have her own trial, come up the straight with Fangirl or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe with K and Rizel up at about 10 lengths in front. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how every person plays out their build up.
Yeah.
My approach is probably a little bit different to Zach and David Hayes. So yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm looking forward to him coming.
Yeah, that trial is scheduled for October 7. I think they're going to open the gates at Randwick for the public. It'll be some trial to watch. A lot of the Everest horses going around. Chris, also out of the shorts, the run of Generosity. Both her runs now since she's joined your stable have been excellent. Has she surprised you?
She did first up. She got no luck, and we thought, oh gee, sometimes that gap opens and there's not quite the acceleration you hope for. But we saw it on Saturday, so yeah, she's ticking over nicely, and looks like there's a good win in her. She probably just missed an Everest slot, but the Lexus, I think it's called, the Sydney City Lexus, on the same day. 1200 metres would probably be right up her alley.
Okay, let's go to the veterans. Fangirl and Lindemann. You must have been wrapped with them on the weekend.
Yeah, they were great, Corey. I thought Lindemann had won, to tell you the truth. It was a great front-running ride from Nash, and he knew the likes of Fangirl and Chow Wolf and those would be hoping for a good hot speed. I think, yeah, Nash rolled along to stop people tempting them in to take him on. But gee, he was solid. We saw last start he bounced back to form, but to beat, or almost beat, the likes of Fangirl, it was a big step up again. So yeah, they both ran well. I was super proud, and unfortunately had to be only one winner.
It's actually, I would have loved to have seen a dead heat, but you watch that Lindemann, and like Nash pointed out, he looks like he's going so slow, but to have all of those horses off the bridle like Char Wolf and, you know, Fangirl, he's just an old marvel. I love him.
Yeah, he's a great horse. He's got his own little fan club, and gets respect, and there's no doubt on a good track. He'll run you an honest race every time. So yeah, he's back big time, and probably go the Hill Stakes with him over 1900 in 3 weeks' time. I think that's probably the right race. King Charles, we'll just see how the field takes shape. Obviously he'll run a solid race, but we want him to win as well. So yeah, Hill Stakes or King Charles for him.
Fair enough. And Fangirl, I know, Chris, you've managed her so well over the years, and she's still racing at her absolute best. That was a tremendous win. Will she go straight to the King Charles a month between runs? And you mentioned maybe that barrier trial on October 7?
Yeah, I think so. She's pretty good fresh as well, and Yeah, it was good to see her bounce back after a flat run first up at Caulfield, and she'll probably have to go to another level again in the King Charles, but I think there's room for improvement.
Yeah, no, she was outstanding and look forward to the King Charles with her. Chris, you also won the Kingston Town Stakes on Saturday with Birdman. It's been a while coming, this horse. He's always seemed to have the flashing light or back me next time. He finally delivered, albeit narrowly on Saturday.
Yeah, he needed to step up. He was up to a more suitable distance and up in grade. So if we're talking Caulfield Cups or better races, they need to eventually win. Lovely ride from Kieran. He just rode him with complete confidence. Just angled out at the right time, got the gap, and had a good fight the last 100 metres. It's good to see them sort of draw away from the third horse. So, we'll take a bit of heart from that, and I think he can improve again when he gets up and trip. And it was a pass mark, that's for sure.
I honestly, on the day, I thought, he's sort of lied down, but the more I watched the replay, I don't think he did lie down. I think the other horse was coming at him, like as he got his second win, but I don't know, I reckon that might have just given him a bit of a confidence builder on the weekend, and I reckon he's in for a nice prep.
No, I think so. He's been building towards it, and the Aussie Care and his team, they bought this horse for this year's Cup races. They bought him last year. They said, look after him. He's only a young horse, so that's what we've done. So everything they've said, we've sort of followed, and he seems to be lifting and going along the right path. So just one step at a time. But as you know, Corey, at this time of year, if you can get them peaking at the right time, that confidence will take them a long way, won't it?
I think you said on Saturday, Chris, he more than likely goes to the Metropolitan, as does your winner of the Newcastle Cup on Friday, a horse called Solar Spain, who has been up in Queensland working his way through the grades, very lightly raced, but he made that step up to group company at Newcastle. He did a super job.
Yeah, he did. He's been here just about 12 months, not quite, and he's kept getting better and better. Just had a couple of runs last prep, but since this time back in, right from his trials, he's just showing a bit of dominance. Lofty and the team at the Gold Coast were bullish about him having his first up run over a short distance. He won second up with a bit of class, and he was given a lovely ride here by Zach. But just love the turn of foot he's got, and he's a lovely style of horse. Relaxes, helps himself, and wants to be a racehorse.
I think for jockey and horse, it was a good confidence builder up there at Newcastle last Friday. Chris, you've trained some absolute superstars, you've trained the best horse that we've ever seen, but you must pinch yourself lately with the crop of fillies and mares that you've got. It's mind-blowing how good they are and how many you've got.
Yeah, it's just how it works out, Corey, I think. Starting the season and seeing them come back well, it's good, and I think it's just a little purple patch of fillies that we've got, and they're running well, and when you've got the depth, you can sort of place them right as well too, Corey, and probably makes them look a bit better. Like we purposely brought Fangirl back to dodge Via Sistina, and then you've got your up-and-coming ones like Autumn Globe coming through, and Lizzer, and even your second-tier ones are really gaining confidence, and we're putting them in the right races, and just things flow from there.
Well, one of those mares that Corey was talking about is Lady Shenandoah, and you're in Melbourne. We appreciate your time. You're getting ready to catch a plane coming home, but you were there this morning to watch her gallop at the Valley ahead of Friday night's Manikato Stakes, which will be her last run before the Everest, all being well. And how did she handle the Valley? And is it full steam ahead for the Manikato on Friday night, Chris?
Yeah, she seemed to get round the Valley really well. It's great to have James aboard, and not only is he riding so well, his feedback's consistent, it's confident, and he said we come off the track with a good smile on his face, and that's always a good sign of James. And we didn't break the clock this morning, but we're confident she's fit enough. And I took heart from her first up run where she didn't get out until the last 100 metres, but when she did, boy, she let down strong. So we think she's sharp enough to win over 1,200 metres at this level. Obviously, a barrier draw would help.
Yeah, she was outstanding first up in the Concord, running second. Quickly, Chris, before we look ahead to the Golden Rose on the weekend, Angel Capital was desperately unlucky in the Sarupa Clark. Everyone saw that. Have you got any plan going forward for him?
I've got to speak to Yulong today. He can either come up for Everest if he's got a slot, or if they were keen to run him, or there's some sort of second tier sprint races down here, and try and build his way towards a Group 1 win. I'm not sure if we'd get through to a two-rack this prep. I think he's a bit more brilliant than a miler. I want to keep him to the short distances if we can. So, yeah, hopefully in the next few days we can work out a definite plan. But he looks a superstar on the rise.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Chris, we all know that post-race you always take that little video message to either give to the owners or whoever you do, look over it to see what the jockeys have said. Could you tell us what Damien Lane told you?
He was speechless, Corey.
Imagine.
he was pretty upset. Like he was literally upset that we didn't win. So, I felt for him.
Yeah.
He was just devastated. He said, "Look, maybe I should have." Well, he said I should have come round them.
Yeah.
I took the percentages to come through them, and it didn't work. But he said if I went round them, I won by 2. So obviously, it's easy to say that after the race. But honestly, I haven't seen a jockey that upset for some time.
Yeah, he certainly owned it, didn't he? Which is fair enough, yeah. Hey, Chris, this weekend, big racing at Rosehill Gardens, your home track. The Golden Rose, one of the premier races of the Sydney Spring. You've got 4 excellent chances. Woden, Autumn Boy, 60s and Baywalk. All 4 going to the Golden Rose on Saturday?
Yeah, they are, Ray. 4 boys. So we've got the boys flying the flag in the 3-year-old ranks this year. So, you can make a case for each of them. Baywalk, he's an on-speed, sort of quite an adrenaline-driven horse, but he's settling pretty well in his races, and it's a Group 1 race at his home track, so hopefully he gets the 1400. 60s, he was good, leading all the way the other day, and he'll keep them honest. Autumn Boy, he's a bit like Dad. He's going into the race with a similar profile. He's a colt on the way up and heading towards a Caulfield Guineas. We're going to put some blinkers on him, which is exactly what we did with the Autumn Sun going into the Golden Rose. And Woden, he didn't get much luck in his lead-up run and the run to the Rose, so hoping for a better draw for him, and he'll love the 1400 metres.
Will Woden have a gear change as well, Chris? Or
tomorrow morning he's going to gallop. James is going to gallop, and we'll probably put some blinkers on him in the track gallop. He normally races with blinkers, so maybe just work that out in the morning.
Okay. Look, Chris, really appreciate your time. We don't want you to miss that plane. So, look, thanks so much for joining us on This Week, Next Week. Congratulations with the start for the season that Stable is having, and let's hope it goes right through the Spring Carnival. Thanks so much, Chris.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Corey.
There's Chris Wallace having a great start to the season.
He wouldn't be missing any flight. He's got a private plane. What are you talking about?
Well, he's at the
I'll wait for him.
He's at the airport there. He's got a great team in the Golden Rose, one of the premier races of the Sydney Spring. Corey, if you had Woden, Autumn Boy, 60s, Baywalk, which one would you be riding?
I'd be riding Autumn Boy.
Autumn Boy?
Yeah. I like the way that he attacked the line. Against sort of the pattern on the day, I thought he worked home really well.
Fair enough. Well, this weekend is the Golden Rose, as I said. If you look back through the history of this race, so many outstanding colts. One of the very best was just 12 months ago. His name, Broadsiding.
Broadsiding and Traffic Warden closing in. Storm Boy is the leader from Traffic Warden and Broadsiding the outside. Broadsiding and Traffic Warden, they'll fight it out. Traffic Warden, Broadsiding bobbed, won the Golden Rose. It's Bivouac being joined by Yes on the outside of Bivouac, 2 further back to Exceedance. It's Yes, laying it down to Bivouac, great finish, Yes, Bivouac comes back, Bivouac fights on, and Bivouac wins the Golden Rose.
9 to 5 ain't working, why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems, I can't take them.
Rory Bivouac beating Yes, who subsequently won the Everest, and Exceedance was third. Both Bivouac and Exceedance multiple Group 1 winners. That was a great form race.
Great race. Can't wait for this weekend.
Exactly, yeah. Well, coming back also on This Week, Next Week, it's good to welcome in Tim Ryan, because he'll give us all the latest on the big race markets this weekend, particularly the Golden Rose. Tim, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Ray. Looking forward to a big weekend at Rosehill on Saturday. Golden Rose betting, and Tempted is your favourite, $3.50 chance. There is money around her though at this point. Autumn Boy better backed as a $4 chance, and the Chris Waller stable make Wadton $5 there. Also money around for Skyhook. So punters just betting around Tempted to this point. This race will go final field tomorrow. Should be out not long after 10 a.m. The other feature on the card is the Golden Pendant. Put Gangster Granny up as a $2.80 chance, Manal $3.50, and early firm this morning for Lazura, 8 into 6, is also nominated for Moonee Valley Friday night though. Moving on to the Shannon Stakes, last chance for horses to get into the Epsom. I've made Gringotts favourite. He's a $4.50 chance. He will have to carry plenty of weight here though, quality handicap, likely to get 61. Early firm for Rise at Dawn, Victorian horse for the Hayes boys, 8 into 6. It's the early firm there. Moving on and looking forward to the Tab Everest, and Kaiying Rising. He remains 170 after Saturday. Lady Shenandoah, the new second favourite. She'll run a short price favourite in the Manikato on Friday night, so keep an eye out for her. Jolly Star the firmer, 13 into 8 on Saturday, and Private Harry, he's out the gate, 6 out to 15. Also a firm for Angel Capital, no luck in the Rupert Clark, 26 into 15 for the Tab Everest. A King Charles update, Fangirl, she was impressive on Saturday, 450 into 280. She firms. Autumn Glow still in that market, but not sure where they'll go after the Epsom. Mr. Brightside rock solid, a $4.50 chance there. Kosciuszko betting, and not a lot of change here. Front page remains $3.50, Clear Thinking $4.50. Still looking to find that 14th slot runner. Tickle Belly and So You Pence, $15 chances. They've been well supported, so maybe they might pick up one of the last slots. And the Golden Eagle could be one of the races of the carnival. Autumn Glow, your $2.80 favourite there. Lady Shenandoah, $4.50. Angel Capital, $6. And the Japanese Galloper Panja Tower, well supported, a $6 chance.
Well, Timmy, I know Corey loves to take on your lay of the weekend. So can we keep a tally this season as to how we go?
Yeah,
I'm
looking forward to it.
Okay,
yeah.
Which horse are you taking on this weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to take on Gangster Granny. I know I had excuses when beaten as a short price favourite, caught wide last time out, but on Saturday has to step up to the 1,400 metres, now third up. So I just think it's a little bit under the odds, $2.80, and I'm going to look to lay it on Saturday.
You're writing that down, Corey? You
got
that?
Nearly covered the distance there on the weekend, 3 wide.
Well, we'll keep a tally through the spring. Plenty happening in New South Wales racing this week through until Golden Rose Day at Rosehill Gardens on the weekend. Tomorrow we're racing at Taree and Leeton, back to Warwick Farm on Wednesday. Hawkesbury's our provincial meeting on Thursday. Then, of course, we're also racing at Goulburn. On Friday in New South Wales, we're racing at Lismore for the Lismore Cup. Scone is also racing on Friday. Golden Rose Day at Rosehill Gardens on Saturday. Kembla Grange, the provincial meeting, and we're at Dubbo and Port Macquarie on Sunday. Corey, so much to look forward to. What do you look forward to seeing on Saturday?
Gangster Granny.
Take on Timmy, yeah.
No, just the good horses being back. Like I said, Ray, last Saturday at Randwick was terrific, and yeah, just really looking forward to all these good horses hitting their peaks.
And you like Gangster Granny and the Golden Pendant?
I like Gangster Granny.
Fair enough. For me, I think Tempted can make history and become the first 3-year-old filly to win the Golden Rose in spring. On behalf of Corey Brown and I, thanks for joining us on This Week. Next week, we'll see you next Monday.